Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play.
Ladies and gentlemen, whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Shoo,
Ah,
shoo,
ah,
shoo.
ah. Yay! I could not watch a Premier League game today because I've been spending my time listening to some really, really, really crazy, incredible rap music. Now, if you don't know anything about me, you're going to know I'm a big fan of rap. And you're probably a fan of rap as well, even if you didn't know or you don't publicly acknowledge that. Because if you've been out to a public space, there's a more than 90% chance that any public space where they're playing music, there's got to be something that's rap, hip hop, or hip hop influenced. Now, I'm talking about people that are in touch with the culture. Of course, if you're one of those people that goes to a place that's not like that, that's you. But I want to tell you right now that we've experienced the biggest moment in hip hop in the last 15 years or so. Kendrick Lamar versus J. Cole. Now, I know this is a football channel. Some of you are new here. But if you really, really, really been here since day one, you would know that in this channel, on this channel, every single month, especially before we're above 300 subscribers, we used to do content once a month that is not football related. But
But I can see you don't know nothing about that.
now you know that I'm not just a football nerd, but I'm also a hip hop nerd. And today, my lord, we were treated. Today, matter of fact, last night, let me start it off by saying last night I went to bed thinking, wow, this is some good hip hop music that we're listening to. You know, the ability to be able to record something over an instrumental, over a beat, over some, and create this piece of like 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, however long it is, or 7 minutes, you know, that ability to be able to create something like that and make it have an impact on other people that were not there in the room when that was being created. That's something that I'm so fascinated by. And yesterday, I gotta tell you that I was more or less like many other hip hop fans around the world, enjoying the fact that, okay, cool, Kendrick Lamar had dropped Euphoria, and we were just sort of just finishing dissecting that and breaking down some of the bars because this song has so many double, triple, and quadruple entendres. And then what happened was Kendrick Lamar did a back to back on Drake and released 616. Now 616 was so important because you know I thought about it being like, huh, the significance of this is big. I know it's gonna elicit a response from Drake, and I was just enjoying watching the memes. I follow Drake on Instagram, and then also follow Kendrick's social media as well. And you know, I was sort of like enjoying the memes that Drake was posting because he was ready. He was calculating this move, saying, "I know Kendrick is gonna drop uh, his record, and guess what? I have mine ready." But little did he know, little did he know,
Shoo,
yo,
shoo, shoo.
that, that Kendrick was more than just loaded, he was triple loaded. He had something already stashed in the laptop, in the vault, waiting. Because, okay, so the rollout of events was I listened to 616, right? And I'm like, okay, he did a back to back on Drake. Nice double entendre on the line. Back to back. I like that record. Back to back. I'll get back to that for the record. Now, which also is another thing that like strikes me because this was a back to back was a reference to a diss track that Drake did many years ago to Meek Mill, right? You know, when Drake was feuding with Meek Mill. And now that beef is gone, that beef is over, and we thought, okay, or whatever, you know, Beefing may be done in hip hop, but guess what? The real beef pulls up between the two biggest stars, entertainers in hip hop music today. This is bigger than you could actually say it's bigger and better than Jay-Z and Nas. Jay-Z and Nas did take over Ether. That was great. They had like a little bit, it was spaced out. They had both had cultural like imprints and impact and so forth. But this right here is unprecedented. This shit right here. I gotta tell you.
But I can see you don't know nothing about that.
It's something else. Cause Kendrick actually said to Drake,
We ain't gotta get personal. This a friendly fade. You should keep it that way. I know some shit about niggas that make gonna wanna look.
we ain't gotta keep it personal. We ain't gotta get personal on this rap feud. And it got personal. And now after 616, as I said, dropped, Drake dropped his response, which was a 3-in-1. I was enjoying it. I went to bed. Matter of fact, I tweeted last night. I was like, Kendrick has until Crystal Palace to respond. Crystal Palace plays Manchester United on Monday. He's gonna take the weekend to process his feelings and think about what he wants to say. Less than an hour later, Kendrick Lamar says, "Ha ha." He releases a handwritten letter over an instrumental. By the way, the instrumental is so chilling. It's got pretty much just about 3 notes that just keep repeating and they're haunting and they create this unsettling vibe. And Kendrick Lamar just goes to what? To Drake's family members. Song that Drake released was called, obviously, what was it called? I even forgot it now. Family Matters. And then Drake, after he released Family Matters, Kendrick was like, okay, family really matters. So, ladies and gentlemen, meet the Grams. He started off with the first one, just saying straight to his son, Adonis. Now, the thing that's fascinating for me in this hip hop beef is that we're past the days of shooting each other. I hope, thank goodness, right? Especially with Drake and Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Pardon me. I was thinking about J. Cole because he's kind of caught in between. He's catching strays. He's trying to be peaceful. He's trying to say I don't beef, but he also looks like he did the smartest decision of his career by staying away from feuding. Because at the end of the day, what is all this negativity really gonna do? We are in a place where like we should be building each other as black men, as men of culture. We should be uplifting each other, but also the hip hop feels good though. I haven't been excited about hip hop like this since Watch the Throne. I don't know about you, but I can tell you that right now I listened to that Kendrick Lamar response to Family Matters and I could not hold myself. I was just like, oh, Drake,
Them dead.
OVO,
Them dead.
So it's looking good.
No. It's really not looking good for Drake. He has to make sure that he comes off with a very, very good response. This is what rap music is about. The competitive edge now. It's moved on to this phase of like, we're not going to shoot each other, but we're going to do some investigative journalism on each other and expose it on a song. Now, the things that they're exposing, obviously, I'm not happy about. Learning that Kendrick Lamar has been physically abusing his fiance. He's made this promise to marry this woman since 2015, according to Drake, allegedly, right? And That's a long time to to put a ring and say, are we going to get married, but like, and not marry? But then also the fact that the physical abuse, and also now that Kendrick has been living in New York by himself and also soliciting women for other activities. That's just like, bro, that's not the Kendrick Lamar that I respect. But also, he then exposes Drake by talking about Drake and saying, bro, you're an enabler. You belong in the Epstein prison. That was just an unsettling truth. I got the chills listening to this. I don't know about you, but I want to know who you think is winning in this rap battle. Do you think actually it should continue? Do you think there should be a ceasefire right now? Somebody got to call Dr. Umar Johnson and Reverend Al Sharpton and get them to just say, you know what? Please, Uncle Snoop, talk to these.
1 2 1 2.
This is a time for us to come together and not pull each other down like this. But at the same time, man, the music is good, because we know Kendrick Lamar doesn't drop music like that. Not as often as this. And if it's going to take a Drake beef to get Kendrick Lamar to drop music, hey, as a wise man once told me,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Definitely the stuff that they're alleging about each other. I'm not saying that they're true or not true, but some investigation has to happen. Drake, those things that Kendrick talked about, not great to hear. Drake needs to be a better father, because at this point, Kendrick is a better father to Drake's kids than Drake. And also speaking of a father, the other big nugget of truth that we cannot end this without talking about is the fact that Drake feels like anytime he gets into a beef, he gets another child.
Oh my God!
Or rather, another child exposed, which makes me question his integrity as a father. It's like, you definitely have the resources to be able to publicly to acknowledge, to support this daughter of yours that apparently you have. And if that's true, I'm disappointed in Drake. And if what Drake said about Kendrick and his actions, especially to his partner, I'm disappointed in Kendrick. But you know what? I'm also curious about what's going to happen next. Let me know who you think is winning this rap battle. We talked about it last night on the happy hour. It was somehow shoehorned into the footballing conversation. It became the rap happy hour. Usually it's the football power hour, but it was the rap power hour last night. And we had a poll where I asked, this was even before 616 was dropped, and before Family Matters and Meet the Grams was dropped. And 60% of the voters of this community voted and said Kendrick Lamar is winning. Now, do you think that Drake is going to come back with a strong
Combination.
Or do you think that it's going to end here? I don't know. But I know somebody in the studio.
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it. I feel it. He's cooking.
I'm Botswana Papi. Let me know also if you think this whole feud is just nonsense that we do not need. Some people stand on that perspective and say, you know what?
This is totally crap.
But listen.